as usual. So yeah, let's start with the video. So what I'm going to do first is to actually make a new folder. So right click in your content browser. Then click on new folder and then name it opening cutscene. Like that. Then go into the folder, create a new folder, and name this waking up on floor. Or whatever your animation will be. But for this tutorial purpose, I will actually wake up on the floor. So go into that, and then we will actually make a new animation sequence. So right click, then want to go to cinematics, level sequence, and then we will name this let's say waking up on floor, opening, and then sequence, like that. Then after that we can actually go into it. So double click, and once we're in here, we want to click on this camera icon right there, so it will actually create a new camera so we can edit our the actual sequence in. So just click on this camera, and then as you can see, it created a camera automatically for us. And now as you can see, it is very zoomed in, so we can fix that easily by just changing the current focal length right here. And the standard value for this camera is 35, and as you can see, it is very zoomed in. And the setting I want to use is 15.
Mobile that rolls with your business. You'd better believe it.
And this like that. So as you can see, now when I set the current focal length to 15, the camera actually zooms out and goes to the standard field of view. Now you can change this to however much you want, but 15 will work great for me. And then after that, I actually want to position the camera where I want the animation to start. So I want to start on the floor, so I will just go down here. and start at the floor right here. But of course you can start anywhere in your level, so maybe in a bed or in a cell or in a floor like me. So just position the camera where you want the animation to start. And what we'll do next is change the length of our animation. So as you can see here, we have this graph, and this is actually where we will edit all of the animation. And right now the animation is set to 5.5 seconds long, but we want our animation to be longer. So just select this number and then just type in 15. So I want my animation to be 15 seconds long. And after that we want to drag this red line to the 15 mark. Like that, and also drag our actual sequence to the end of that as well, so 15. Just like that. So now our animation length is 15 seconds long, but we haven't added any keyframes to know where the player camera should start and be. So this is actually very easy to create. So if I just scroll down again, we have this transform right here. And if I click on this key, so just click on this key right there, it will actually add a keyframe for us, and this keyframe is this camera position. So if I just drag this to maybe 1 second and then change the camera position like that and add another keyframe, you can see that we already have an animation. So this keyframe is this location. And this keyframe is this location, and these two will smoothly transition with each other, as you can see. So that is how the keyframes work, and we add a keyframe by clicking on this plus icon right beside the transform. So I will just delete that and make it a lot better. So if we start at 0 seconds, I want the player to take about 2 seconds. So we can just change this number to 2 to go to the 2 second mark on the animation. And once the camera has taken 2 seconds, I want it to be right there. So the camera will actually take 2 seconds to go to this position. So add a transform key. So just click on this plus icon right there. And now, as you can see, we actually added a keyframe. Like that. And if I want to see how this looks, we can actually go to the start and we can click on this play right here. And as you can see, that is our animation so far. But of course, we want to add more. So once the camera has actually looked at this location, I want it to look down and go a bit up, so the actual player will stand up. So what I want to do now is to drag this arrow right here to about the 4-second mark. And then I want to position the camera to where I want it to be. So I will just move the camera like we usually do, like that, a little bit up, and then just slightly move the camera down. And then I will add another transformation key right here as well.
It's a crime scene that you've got to get down there right now before
So now, as you can see, I have this animation. And that animation was a bit too fast, as you can see. I looked there and then I just stood up immediately, which isn't really that realistic because we want it to smoothly look good. So what I want to do is to actually drag this keyframe to about 5 seconds so it isn't as fast. So now, as you can see, when I play, we will look there and then we will smoothly transition upwards, and then it is done with that keyframe. So after that, I want to add another keyframe, so I will just drag you onto the 7 seconds mark, like that. And then I want to just move the camera a bit more upwards, trying to stay in the same location, and maybe like that. And then add another keyframe, and let's see how that looks. So he will stand up like that. That looks great. And then after this keyframe, I want it to take about to the 9 seconds mark right there, and I want the camera to look down. So we'll just stay. And then after this keyframe, I want to go to the 15 seconds mark, so at the end of our animation, and I want to just make sure that it is upwards right, like that, and add another keyframe. Animation. But I would just and make sure that it looks when the game starts actually see you. So just select want to go to click on the 0 to go to. So that's actually pretty easy to do. So just select this number right here, click on right here, second mark, and then want to go to add right here. Want to add a fade track. And then want to select the fade track. Want to go to the 0 seconds, so make sure that it is here right here. And then change the fade to 1, so it is pitch black. And then just click on this little icon right there to add a keyframe for the fading track. And I want it to take about 5 seconds for the fading to actually go to 0. And then click on this key right there, like that. So now you can see that we have an fading in animation as well. Can just save, and then after that we want to make it so that the animation will actually transition smoothly to the BP first person character. So it actually, if we don't add this, it will just snap to the player character, going to pan blend. Like that. And what this will do is that it will add this yellow arrows right here. And what we will do is to actually select that yellow arrow and then just drag it to where we want the transition to start, go to the player. So I want it to take about 2 seconds, maybe 1 second for the transition to be. So now you can see that we have this fading effect right here, and this is the fading transition to the actual player. So after that we can just save. And now we want to apply this animation to the actual player when we start the game. So we want to go to this icon right here. We want to open level blueprint, like that. And then we want to go back and we want to drag out our sequence into the level. So we can do that simply by just going back into the content browser and going into our you can mark that yellow arrow player when we start the game, going in, and then just simply drag it out like that. So now we have our animation in the actual level. So then go back into the level blueprint and just drag in our waking up animation into the level blueprint. Like that. Then out of here we want to play. Like that. And this will play our sequencer. Just like that. And before we play our sequence, we want to make sure that we can't walk, because right now if we will connect these two, our player could still move around. So first we want to just drag you out.
This is my team, and we get everything done with.
And this is how we get. Just So first we want to just drag you out. We want to disable input, and the target will be get player character, and then drag you into there, and then after drag you into there, and then after the sequence is done, so we want a delay, and this delay duration should be how long your sequence is. So how to check that is to just simply go to your sequence and then just drag this arrow right here to the end of the sequence. And you can see that my page it in, and then once it's completed, I want to enable the input, and the target will be the get player character, just like that. Now we can just compile and save, and let's try it out. So if I click on play, you can see that it actually fades in and it will play the animation right here. And then we can play. But as you saw, it looks very weird because the animation actually ends right here, but our character starts right here. So how to easily fix this is to actually just drag out a player start and just like that. Now we can just compile and save, and let's try it out. So if I click on play, then we can play. It ends right here is to actually just drag out a player start see that our sequence ends just like that. So yeah, that is how to make a smooth animation opening